Hi guys, Ready Set RC back again today with our RC collection video. And today we have, I'm calling this class large scale RCs and monster trucks. You'll see there's a variation of RCs in this class. I would probably classify this as the basher grouping of my RCs. This is probably dedicated more to the bashers out there. As I said, I started off the hobby more so on-road, but this was kind of the class of RCs that I've been gravitating to over the last years. So let's get into it, guys. Right now we have here the Tekno MT410, and this is a kit. So you build this up from scratch. It comes as parts in a box, and you build it up as a kit. Mine right now has quite a few changes since I first started off with this. You know, I started off with my, I went through a couple of different ESCs through this. I went with my ESC that was in my SE8 at one point. Just not enough power, guys. It wasn't enough power at all. Then went to my ESC that I had in my OFNA DX2E, which is a 1/8 scale spec ESC on here, the Mama Monster. 1/8 scale ESC, and it's been perfect. I mean, excellent amount of power. I run this on 4S. I think at this point I may have one running video on my channel of this, but this kit is amazing. It's amazing. I haven't taken it out enough to classify it as probably my favorite, but I think it's going to be there. I think it's probably going to end up being probably my favorite RC. Definitely. You know, in regards to bashing, this is by far the most fun, the most joy that I've had in the entire RC collection that I have. This thing is just a bundle of joy. And I haven't, as I said, I haven't even taken it out as hardcore as I've seen on some of the guys' channels out there on YouTube. But this thing, so far, with the limited amount of runs that I've done with it, is amazing. By far, a very tough truck. I have had 0 breakages with it, but as I said, full disclaimer, I haven't really taken this out simply for the fact that the time when, you know, I had this completed and ready to go, the weather started taking a downturn at that point. But this truck, you know, the build series of this, the way that the manual goes through this is a joy to build, guys. Just a complete joy to build. You know, from end to end, Tekno is very thorough in how they put their manual together, how they tell you that, you know, this truck is supposed to be laid out in regards to its build. It is an amazing and joyful build. For anyone who has not built an RC, for anyone who has not built an RC, this is by far the best build I have done in all of my RCs builds that I've done out there. And, you know, I've done complete scratch rollers to builds. And I mean, when I say rollers, I don't mean not having electronics in there. I mean completely bits and pieces, and the only thing that may be in there is the chassis with the differential in there. I've done a lot of, you know, complete kit builds from the beginning on up. And this by far, guys, very thorough, a joy to build from end to end. I was running back every minute I could to continue this build. It was just so much fun, so much detail in their manuals that I would say if you are looking to get a monster truck and you see the Tekno MT410 and then you may see an RTR that's comparable to it, get the Tekno MT410. Simply for how it goes into building it. One, you'll learn the hobby a lot easier if you're building a kit. And two, I will say that this build should not overwhelm you. Some builds you go into and it's a little overwhelming. This was not. By far one of the best builds I've ever done in all of my time in RC. I won't go over the specs on this right now, guys. I do have a video. I have a build series of this RC. I have videos of the electronics in this RC, so I won't go over it on this now. Please go check out my other videos on this truck. But this is a great truck, and let's move on to the next RC. So here we have, guys, is the Proline Promt 4x4. This is one of the newer kits to my RC collection. What you see here is the Ford Bronco body that's mounted up here. This is mainly for a crawler. If you do some minor tweaks and changes to this body, it can work on the Proline Promt. I think I saw this in one of RC Car Actions magazine's covers when they did a review of the Proline Promt 4x4 and loved it. So I went ahead and I did my own, and I think it came out pretty good. Not the best paint job I've ever done out there, but I will say that for bashing, it's gonna work. This is gonna work. But just to get into it, guys, just really quick with this. What I have in here is the 1/8 scale electronics. So basically, if you've seen my Instagram posts, I threw in the Axial Yeti XL's electronics in regards to the motor and ESC. In regards to the servo, right now we're using the servo that I used to have in my Sen Colossus, the Savox servo that came with the Sen Colossus XT. Gonna see how that works, guys. I already bought up another servo just in case if that doesn't suffice for this, but I think it should. That's a pretty big truck, even though the ESC, even though the servo, it was underwhelming in the Sen Colossus XT. This should be able to handle in the Proline Promt 4x4. So just a quick disclaimer out there for a lot of guys who are always looking at comparisons on this truck. And I've done a quick comparisons between this and the Tekno MT410. I do have a video up of that as well. But just so that you guys know, size-wise, they're not even close. This is a 1/10 scale monster truck with 1/8 scale build in regards to how the shocks and the differentials and everything else is in there, even the power system. But this is a 1/10 scale monster truck. The Tekno MT410, they call it 1/10 scale, but it's truly the size of a 1/8 scale buggy. I know it gets a little confusing because if you size a 1/8 scale buggy, it looks pretty close to a 1/10 scale short course truck. Very confusing on how they have things in the RC community, but I'm telling you right now, this and an MT410, not even in the same class in regards to size. You definitely see it when you see the two up against each other. I would say comparisons, if you would compare this truck to something, I would compare it more so to the Redcat MT10E. Now that kit is well built. The electronics in there are more geared towards 1/10 scale because you can run it on 2S and 3S, but that truck is more so what I would say is a straight on competition for this, in the sense that the electronics, if you spec this more towards a 1/10 scale electronics, it will probably be more in line with the 1/10 scale Redcat Racing TR MT10E. But this, so far, we haven't taken this out as of yet. This is one of, as I said, this is one of our newer kits. Just can't wait to get this out in the dirt, really muck this around. We had just finished up the body, posted some pictures up on Instagram, but let's move on to the next RC, guys. So guys, this is the Team Associate SE8E. This is, I think this would be the first generation of this short course truck. I don't know if you guys remember this, but this was the one that they had the Castle Creations 1/8 scale 2200 kV motor with the 1/10 scale ESC. A lot of guys, when this came out, was very upset about having that 1/10 scale ESC in there. It's rated at 2S to 4S. It's a ton of power with 4S on this kit. Never really had a desire to max this out or push this any harder than that at this point. But this is right now, this is box stock. The only thing that I changed out on this was the receiver. I put in my photographer receiver on this. This short course truck is a ton of fun. As I said to you guys, and you guys could see the videos that I have up of this car, tons of fun. The tires hook up very well on grass and dirt. Haven't had too many issues with them at all. But this kit is so much fun, and it's sad to say that, you know, Team Associate no longer offers the SE8E at this point. hopefully they change that. As I said, they've been coming out with a lot of RCs and kind of reestablishing some of the older ones, and hopefully they reestablish this one. A lot of guys now are familiar with the Nomad that's out right now. And as I was telling you in my previous videos, that the Nomad cage will fit on this kit perfectly. There is no modifications that need to be done. The Nomad cage will fit on this kit and, you know, handle well. If you have an SC8E and you want to modify it because you've seen the Nomad cage on there, it will fit perfectly. It is slightly different than the SC8 cage that's in here. Actually, I think it looks a little bit better too, but the Nomad cage will fit on this perfectly with no issues whatsoever. As I said, I've had this kit for quite some time. It is a great short course truck to just sit out there and bang around in the park. It is by far, to me, as I would classify it, it is a basher. It is a true short course basher. It was sad to say that there is no race classes for this 1/8 scale short course truck. So I go out there and I really just have some fun with it. It really books when you take it out there onto the grass, onto the dirt, and really take it off some jumps. It is a very fun truck to have. But let's move on to the next RC, guys. So guys, here we got now is the Traxxas Summit. This is an amazing RC, and the thing I like about this RC, it just seems to handle everything that I throw at it. Now, it's not built for speed. I'll put that out really quick. It's not built for speed. It is, I think it probably even maxes out at 20, 25 miles per hour, depending on what batteries you run in it. I run now lipos. I think when I originally started running this, I ran with the nickel metal hydrides that came with it. But I run this primarily now on lipos, total 4S. And it's a ton of fun, guys. You know, this probably sees the light of day more so when it starts to have some decent amount of snow on the ground, and I go outside and I just rip this kit. And it's a lot of fun ripping it into snow, ripping it into the dirt, ripping it into the grass. I mean, it's not, as I said, it's not terribly, it's not fast at all, but it's just so much fun seeing this thing rip around. And it seems to just handle it and handle it well. Right now, I went out and got the Proline Apocalypse body. So that's what you see on here now is the Proline Apocalypse body. And I figured like throwing some kind of, you know, Jurassic World theme on there. So that's why you see the Jurassic World theme on this as well. These are the Proline Big Joe 2s that are on here now. Nothing wrong with the stock wheels. I just wanted to change up the look, change up the appearance of it. As for the electronics, everything is in stock form. I do have the light bar up here at the top. My previous body, which was the green body that was on here, there was lights underneath the body that were shining down, also in green. It looked amazing, but I just wanted to change it up a little bit, guys. Make it really my own at this point. And I've had this for quite some time, and it's one of my most favorite, at least winter snow bashers out there. You know, whenever I see snow, this is the first thing I gravitate to, and I just pull it out and I just really get into the snow with it. I would have to say this is by far probably one of Traxxas's best monster trucks. I know a lot of guys out there, they love the X-Max, they love some guys like the Revos, but for me, this is my most favorite Traxxas monster truck right now. I really do enjoy taking this out in the snow, in the dirt, just having some just all-around fun with it. And the thing is that it's not a master of anything. It just does everything, and it does it well enough that you can put a smile on your face. And I think that's a big thing to do in RC. But let's move on to the next RC, guys. So now we have the Redcat Racing TR MT10E. This is my son's monster truck. We've had some minor breakages, and that's why we've moved over to the 17mm hexes on this. It's a great truck, guys. It's a great truck. I mean, mainly he runs this since this is one of his few brushless vehicles. Mainly he runs this vehicle on 2S. Hasn't run it on 3S as of yet. I think he's getting very close, but we want to see how it runs on this setup. As you guys can see right now, we have the Proline MX28s running on here. These, as I said, are the 17mm ones. And we haven't had a chance yet because we've just made this modification over the last couple of weeks, and we haven't had a chance yet to take this out, but that is coming very soon. As I was stating before, this to me is probably the closest comparisons. This is to me is the closest comparisons to the Proline MT 4x4. Yes, the Proline MT 4x4, the build of it is pretty much a 1/8 scale build in regards to the parts that are used in it, but size-wise, it's very close to the Redcat Racing. The Redcat Racing 2, in its own sense, is pretty beefy for a 1/10 scale. I won't say it's as beefy as the Proline, but it's pretty beefy for a 1/10 scale monster truck. So I tell a lot of people out there, if you're looking for a 1/10 scale budget monster truck, this isn't bad. I think the last time when I saw this up on Tower Hobbies, it's going for $299, which is a great price. This is run on, in this current form, this is run on 2S and 3S, which is plenty of power on this truck. At least for my son, this is plenty of power. The servo in here is a Savox servo, and we have had zero problems in regards to the steering, in regards to the power of the steering on this kit. This is a great truck. As I said, it's a great truck for people out there that's looking for that 1/10 scale basher, and it's just a ton of fun. But let's move on to the next RC, guys. So this is my LowSeat 8T. I got this as a roller. When I purchased this, the petrol or the gas motor is what the stock version of this would be. Did not come with this. As I said, I bought this as a roller off of eBay. The motor was removed out of it. I have since converted this over to electric. I do have a video of this so you guys can see exactly what I did, how I made the changes, so I won't go over that in this video. Right now we're running a Tiken RX8 power system in here. We're running the stock servo in here. Everything else in regards to the shocks, the tires, is all box stock. No changes have been made into that sense. I have so much fun with this. I run this on 4S primarily. It can handle up to 6S, but for the most part, I run this on 4S, and it is plenty of power, guys. Plenty of power on 4S. You know, I haven't done any run videos of this on my channel. I got this before the channel even started, and it is a ton of fun. It takes a good beating. It jumps wonderfully in the air. The shock setup from LowSeat right out the box, perfect. Perfect. No issues whatsoever on how the shocks are set up on here with the amount of dampening and with the amount of oil that's in there. Just perfect from LowSeat. As I said, I run this on 4S primarily. Didn't really see the need for me running this on 6S. With that power system in here, it just rides so smooth. Absolutely no cogging because this is a censored system. If you guys would like to see more running videos of this kit, let me know. I have no problems in putting on more running videos of this kit. It is a wonderful kit to own. It is a really nice dialed in kit to drive. But let's move on to the next RC. And here we are, guys, with the LowSeat XL2E. This truck is a beast. It is definitely a large scale monster truck. This thing is by far one of my larger 1/8 scale monster trucks that I own. This thing's a beast, guys. I run this on primarily 4S. I know a lot of guys were telling me that they run this on 5S and think that's about the sweet spot, which I haven't had a chance to run that as of yet on 5S, but they said that's about the sweet spot on here is the 5S runs. Right now, this thing is pretty much stock. I mean, it's still the stock servos in here, still the stock ESC, the stock motor. Haven't had any troubles in regards to those components on this kit. The one problem that I did have is one of the shock shafts completely snapped, but I did run this truck hard into a ramp, full speed, and the shock shaft just snapped in half. Other than that, I haven't really had any breakages on this, guys. I know a lot of guys tend to have some issues in regards to the front and rear diffs, along with having some issues in regards to the slipper clutch on here, but I haven't had those issues with this. It's, as I said, I run it on 4S, and maybe that's the reason why I don't see those breaks. But for the most part, this thing's been pretty durable for me. I've had, you know, some great runs with this. I've since gotten also the LowSeat XL3E, and that's also been a great truck, and I'm going to bring that out as the last vehicle on here. But let's go on to the next RC, guys. So here we are, guys, the last large-scale monster truck in this class. This is my LowSeat XL3E. This is one of my newer monster trucks, especially in this class at this time. This so far we've put in approximately 6 to 8 packs. Then the weather kind of went sideways, and it has not been a good moment to actually take this truck out. I have since not had a chance to get this thing out because the weather has been so horrible, but as the weather starts to mildly turn nicer, because as I said, we've been having some really frigid temperatures here in New York. It just hasn't been a perfect time to take this truck out, but I'm waiting for the weather to get a little bit nicer to take this out. Still have the review to do on this and post that up for you guys. But this has been so far a decent kit, and really haven't had any issues with this. The only thing that we did break on this was a shock rod end on here, running into a curb at one of my bass spots. But since then, got that replaced and it's up and running again. Also, another issue that we did have on here was that hinge on the back, because the body lifts up like this. That also broke on us. Haven't replaced it, haven't seen a need for it. I'm running with it until that thing completely falls off. This so far has been a great kit, guys. I haven't had any issues with it, but I am going to do the final thoughts on this soon and post that up on the channel so you guys get a true overview as to what I thought of this truck after I've been running it through for the first 6 or 8 packs since I had it. As you guys may have noticed through some of the videos on my channel, there are about maybe 2 omissions that you no longer see here on the channel and you do not see in this scale class. One is my Traxxas T-Max, which I no longer own, and the other one is my Armor Nero, which I have since sold off as of the end of 2017. But that's it, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram for our latest post to our channel. This is Ready Set RC, signing out. Thanks again, guys.